Toastmasters. Cat. My very first spelling experience that I can recall is associated with the word cat. As a little kid in kindergarten, my aunt had given me a mini laptop. On it was a program called the Spelling Bee. As a 6-year-old, with the help of the program, I was able to master difficult words like terrific, crisis, and distance. Imagine my frustration when my classmate came to my kindergarten teacher and asked what I thought was a silly question. "Miss Tunney, I'm confused. How do you spell cat? Isn't it K-A-T?" From that moment, I realized that spelling and I would have a long history together. In fact, spelling and I would have spelling bee competitions, and I would learn important life lessons. These life lessons are: work hard, be careful, and learn from experience. The first life lesson is to work hard, and it comes from the old saying, "Do not hope for more than you work." As a bright-eyed third grader, I was so excited to not have missed a single spelling word since kindergarten. I turned to my neighbor and I said, "You want to see a perfect spelling test? I have here a perfect spelling test, I'm sure. I haven't missed a word in 4 years." I opened up the spelling test and I saw red ink. My heart nearly stopped. And my eyes flew to the errors. I had not misspelled only one word, but 2 words. Rather than spelling mailboxes, I had spelled nail boxes. That is N as in Nancy. Rather than spelling violence, I had spelled violins. That's the plural of the stringed instrument. In retrospect, I suppose it served me right. I had never prepared for those tests anyway. Upon receiving the list at the beginning of the week, I would merely glance through them quickly. I did not prepare for these tests. I did not work hard. My second important life lesson that I would learn at the Spelling Bee would be to be careful. It happened at the Regional Bee. And my 40 classmates were out in the audience. It was a field trip to watch me compete against other spellers. I did not want to disappoint them, and I did not want to let myself down. However, I would fall victim once again to the 7-letter word, third round curse, that I call it. Last year, that word was orifice. I didn't know the word, and so I missed it. But that was a fair loss. This year, the word was cabaret. I knew that word, cabaret. It was on the dance category under the intermediate level, and I could picture it in my mind. Cabaret. I brought the microphone up to my mouth and I confidently stated, cabaret. C-A-R-O. The bell rang. The bell rang so fast, and the announcer quickly replied, "I'm sorry, the correct spelling of that word would be C-A-B-A-R-E-T. Thank you for playing." I walked off that stage, thinking to myself, this was absolutely the worst way to lose the bee. I had prepared for months to blow this moment, and I promised myself that I would never make such a careless mistake. I would be back. Years later, my next chance came, and from that spelling bee, I learned the third and final important life lesson. That would be to learn from experience. My mother had advised that I speak with last year's school champion. And so I walked right up to her at recess and I said, "Jessica, what word did you miss last year at county?" "Oh, that's a tricky one. I would have to say that's woebegone. The secret to spelling that word is to break it into parts. Be careful because it is not in the study guide." I carried that information with me as I stood there as my 6th grade self at the County Bee podium. Woebegone. I had gotten the word woebegone. and I must have been smiling as I spelled that word correctly. Ironically, woebegone is a synonym for sad, and I was far from feeling sad that evening. In fact, I was thrilled because I had won the title of county champion. I realized that I would not have done so if it were not for the wise counsel of a former speller. I had learned from experience. Who knew that such important life lessons can be learned from the spelling bee? Without adequate preparation, it would not have been possible for me to maintain a perfect test score. Without being in the moment and paying attention to what was important, regardless of my preparation, regardless of my knowledge, it would have been impossible to make it past the third round. I needed to be careful. Without seeking the advice of a former speller, I would not have won county championship. It was necessary that I learn from experience. Therefore, whether your obstacle is 60 rival spellers, an unhealthy relationship, or a bad habit that you have been meaning to break, I hope that the message of my speech can help you in your path to success. That message came from my experience with the spelling bees, and that message would be to work hard, be careful, and learn from experience. Fellow Toastmasters.